In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to add two vectors that are at 90-degree angles with one another. So our question is, how do we add vectors? And in this problem, we have, while running cross-country, Hunter runs 8 kilometers east and then turns to run 7 kilometers north. What is Hunter's displacement? Now, since the displacement is a vector, it is going to include both magnitude and direction. So here we have a pictorial representation of what Hunter is doing. He's going 8 kilometers east and then turns and goes 7 kilometers north. What we want to do is we want to find the hypotenuse or resultant vector of those two. And whenever we draw our vectors, we always draw them tip to tail. So the tip of the first vector connects to the tail of the second vector. And the first thing we're going to do is find the magnitude. I'll label this as letter D. That is the length of the hypotenuse. To do so, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem, which says that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the summation of the squares of each side. If I put that in my calculator, I get 8 squared is 64, plus 7 squared, which is 49, and I get 113. But that is not my final answer, because that's my answer squared. I have to take the square root of both sides. I therefore get my magnitude comes out to be 10.6. Now the units of your answer are going to be the same as the units of either side. So because these sides are kilometers, my hypotenuse will also be kilometers. Now that is just one part of my answer. I also need to know the angle. When solving for the angle, we always solve for the angle where we start, where the two tails match up. I'll label that as theta. Theta looks like a circle with a line through it. It's a Greek letter. And to solve for that, I'm going to use my inverse tangent, because I know my opposite side being 7 and my adjacent side being 8. I'll write that as tangent with a -1. That means the inverse tangent. Using SOHCAHTOA, it is opposite divided by adjacent. If I divide 7 by 8, I get that it is 0.875. That is not my answer. I have to look up what the inverse tangent of 0.875 is. Now, either you can type that into your calculator, or if you have one of those trig tables, you have to look up the number closest to 0.875. So we're doing the inverse tangent. We're looking under the tangent column. And I scroll down, or I look down here, and I'm looking for a number close to 0.875. Here I get to 0.48, so I need to go a little higher. Again, my tangent column. Here I'm at 0.809. And I get to the closest to 0.875 right here. This is 0.869, which is 41 degrees. So my angle is 41 degrees. Again, if you just have a calculator that has a sine, cosine, or tangent, you put in inverse tangent of 0.875, and it'll give you an answer of 41 degrees automatically.